What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 9, and in today's episode then, as you can see, we are starting it straight off with a youth scout report. Now, of course, we haven't really picked up too many good players on scout reports as of late, and again, I addressed it sort of earlier on in the career mode, and I said it a lot last year as well, that if EA are going to make the youth academy system successful on career mode, then they're going to need to be able to give us exciting youth prospects instead of scout reports that give us youth prospects that are unusable. So again, EA, it would be really nice if you could switch up and change how the youth scouts work, just because again, I'm not really getting too much back from them, and again, I want to use my youth academy, but the players that are just in it at the minute and the players that I'm getting back from my youth scouts and the reports, they're just not good enough to go into the first team. So yeah, as you would see then, no one really picked up from the youth scout report, and you would see here that our first game of today's episode would be Southampton back at home at the Emirates, coming off the back of a 2-1 victory against Brentford. However, we started this game the exact way we started the game against Brentford away at the G-Tech Community Stadium, and that was by going 1-0 down in the first 10 minutes. So we had to respond, and we had to respond quickly. Alexander Zinchenko, as you would see for this one, he was put into midfield. Now, Alexander Zinchenko, he can play in the midfield, and he can play it well. I haven't really tried him there, so this was his first real test in this one against Southampton in playing in that midfield role. So he was playing with, again, the players like Odegaard, so he had backup and support in that midfield. He wasn't just the lone midfielder. You would see, though, going into half-time, still 1-0 down. However, in the second half, I said to the team, I said to the lads at half-time, right, go out there and grab me a response, because I'm not losing to Southampton. And well, that's exactly what we did. Aaron Ramsdale made a good save here, but as you would see, just moments before that, Thomas Partey, the captain for this game, goes ahead, gets the equaliser. And I've got to say, Thomas Partey, he's been such a role model within this first team in the first season. And again, I've got no plans on selling him. He's going to be here for, well, hopefully the remainder of the series, unless he gets majorly injured. So as you would see then, coming into the last 10 minutes of the game, Gabriel Martinelli, the star man in the Arsenal team at the minute, not just in the game but in real life as well, goes ahead, gets the winner, and it's another late goal and another 2-1 victory to go ahead and grab us the 3 points. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, well, grabbing a late goal, but again, it's just leaving it late, isn't it? I don't like leaving it late normally. And, well, in the post-match interview, I said to myself, well, to be honest, it's just a poor run of form at the minute. You could say we're on good form, but are we really? Are we really smashing in goals? No, we're just getting past the finish line at the minute, and that's not good enough for me. So, a 2-1 victory there. 2 wins on the bounce in the Premier League, 1 against Brentford, 1 against Southampton, and going into our next game in the Europa League, the final match day of the group stage, and it's against FC Zurich at home at the Emirates. Now, we already know that we are through to the knockout stages. We already know that FC Zurich, they can't finish any higher. They can either finish lower, which is the only outcome if they lose. And going into this one, I said to the team, right, I want a ruthless performance and I want you to score goals. Well, you would see here, we were doing exactly that. Thomas Partey goes ahead and gets us 1-0 up just 14 minutes in, and I could already tell that the lads were up for this one. Yet you could see the starters that I put in this squad for today's game against FC Zurich. It was again, FC Zurich, they're not the best of teams in Europe. They're one of the tinier teams that you should be beating. I put players like Marquinhos in, and Nketiah got a start. Partey kept his place. You can see here, though, 5 minutes after Partey's goal, 19.5 minutes in, Eddie Nketiah grabs his first goal of the game. And in 20 minutes, we were 2-0 up. And I've got to say, the Emirates was rocking. FC Zurich fans were snoring. They were put asleep. and I've got to say, what a start from the lads. Well, I was standing on the touchline, and I didn't want it to stop. I wanted more. I wanted a positive outcome from today's game. The only way that would make this group stage better would be if we were to finish top. Well, I looked at the group stage. Of course, I showed you before the game, showing that FC Zurich can't finish above us. We're secured in the next round of the Europa League, the knockout stages. And well, if PSV was to lose and we was to win, we would top the group. So therefore, we would sort of get an easier draw. But you would see that we were 3-0 up by Marquinhos, and then Eddie Nketiah grabs the fourth. And at half-time, it was Arsenal 4, FC Zurich 0, and we still had another 45 minutes to go yet. And well, at half-time, the lads were buzzing. They got into the dressing room quick, and they wanted to get straight back out there. It was like a whole new Arsenal team that I've never seen before. But you would see that FC Zurich, they conceded another one, and I've got to say, I think FC Zurich were out at this point. Yeah, 5-0, Fabio Vieira grabbing his first of the game. And yeah, like I said, FC Zurich, they were out of it. So, what did we do? Well, we kept on attacking. We kept on going. And Fabio Vieira got our 6th. Now, again, some of you in the comments, you're going to say, oh, he turned the difficulty down. No, he did this. Oh, he did that. Well, no, I didn't. It's just we were up for the game. And you would see that I actually gave the first start of the season to Matt Turner. Now, Aaron Ramsdale, I thought he needed a rest, and as we were through to the knockout stages, I thought Matt Turner was the perfect opportunity for him. You would see, though, that Matt Turner did concede a goal, didn't get the clean sheet on his debut, unfortunately, but again, in EA, in FIFA, teams like to do this. When they're losing 6-0, they just like to go ahead and get a consolation goal, and that's all it was. It was a consolation goal, nothing serious. You would see, though, after that goal was conceded, we kept on going. Fabio Vieira, once again, rolling through Marquinhos. Marquinhos, in stoppage time, goes ahead. And you would see, quite surprisingly, it's Arsenal 7, FC Zurich 1. Yes, we were actually on fire in that game. Now, again, I'm not sure what changed in the team's mindset, but there you go. It marks our biggest win of the series so far. Yeah, a 7-1 victory from FC Zurich. Now, when I went to the menus, I went to the standings after the post-match interview. I looked at the group, and there you go. With that 7-1 victory, with PSV losing to Bodo Glimt, Arsenal topped the table in their group stage. To be honest, do we deserve it? Well, we've certainly earned it with that 7-1 victory, but again, can we win the Europa League? Well, if we're going to win the Europa League, we're going to need big performances in Europe just like that. So, going into the penultimate game of today's episode, it would be Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground. Trying to get off to a positive start here, coming off the back of a 7-1 victory. The lads were in fine form. The lads were up for this one as well. And we had to get retribution. We had to get revenge for that FA Cup game that happened a couple of seasons ago in real life, where Nottingham Forest knocked out Arsenal at the City Ground. Yeah, I had to get revenge for Mikel Arteta, and that's exactly what we would go ahead and do. Just past the half-hour mark, 33 minutes in, Gabriel Jesus, the brilliant Brazilian, as we like to call him, goes ahead, gets the goal to put us in front. And at half-time, we lead 1-0. And I've got to say, this game, it was all us. It was all us. Dean Henderson was poised to make some saves, and that's exactly what he would go ahead and do. He was denying us of our second goal. 86 minutes in, though. Well, let's just say this. You're not stopping this, are you? Dean Henderson, you've saved all our other goals. But if that's what it takes to get our second, Martin Odegaard, take a bow, my son. Yeah, Odegaard with a spectacular goal to get us the win. And it ends in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest 0, Arsenal 2. And another clean sheet for the lads in the Premier League. Now, we haven't had too many of them recently, but when we do get them, it's pretty spectacular, isn't it? So, yeah, 3 games completed, 3 games done. A 7-1 victory, our biggest victory of the series so far against Zurich. 2 wins in the Premier League. And we've got some pretty big games coming up soon. But guys, if you did enjoy today's episode, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Share the channel, get your friends, get your family to subscribe as well. It's definitely appreciated. But guys, stay safe. Have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you guys for the next one very soon, including Fulham at home. Bye for now.